Hello friends, Sarah Sunstone here, and welcome back to Thinking Out Loud. In today's episode, I will be sharing everything you need to know about Wanderstop, an upcoming narrative-centric cozy game about change and tea. So grab a warm brew, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. Wanderstop is the newest project emerging from the writer and director behind the Stanley Parable and The Beginner's Guide, which is worth noting because it does lay the groundwork for what players might be able to expect when it comes to the plot of Wanderstop, which is actually the unexpected. The creative director's personal experience with burnout after working on the prior two games is what initially inspired the concept of Wanderstop. In the hopes of bringing some balance to his life, he started to explore making a cozy game. However, as he progressed, he discovered that while playing cozy games can provide lots of relaxation, making them still contained all the stresses and challenges that game development holds. After collaborating with other members of the team behind Wanderstop, the game's core themes further evolved so that rather than creating just a cozy experience, tension emerged within the design and writing of the protagonist, in contrast with the laid-back, beautiful world. Over time, the team aimed to expand the ways that these types of games can provide a space for players to reflect on and address potentially challenging issues. So with some background information and the team's mission in mind, what can you expect from Wanderstop? Wanderstop is an emotional, story-driven game where you play as former tournament fighter named Alta, who has to put her troubled past aside to tend a charming tea shop. Alta has led a life of dedication to her craft, possessing a spirit of determination and welcoming constant competition. With her personal history, you might expect Alta to welcome the opportunity to slow down, take a breather, and enjoy the beautiful land that she's stumbled upon. But in fact, she only wants to escape the opportunity for rest and relaxation, desperately. But the tea shop demands patience and rejects those who have come only in the pursuit of growth unchecked. As such, Alta will be guided by Boro, the most charming, friendly, down-to-earth character who observes and does not judge. He is there to support Alta and presents her with ideas for healing that she can choose whether or not to take. He also will always be there to catch her when she falls. Honestly, I think we all need a Boro in our lives, so be sure to like the video if you agree. Perhaps most impactfully, Boro will offer a very unique, refreshing perspective on not just Alta's predicament and experience of inner turmoil, but life itself. And this is exactly why Alta can't be here. It's why she'll never make it. This just isn't who she is. She's a fighter. Why would anyone insist on turning the world's greatest championship warrior into a docile servant? With everything she's capable of? No, she won't do it. She can't. While some of you, myself included, might have an idea of where this is going, I have a feeling that the story will take us on an emotional journey of the unexpected. So definitely be prepared to confront some feelings within yourself when you dive in. At least this was my personal experience in playing through a portion of the early preview that I was very kindly granted access to courtesy of Ivy Road. I absolutely loved the feeling of being kept on my toes and never quite knowing what would come next in the story. I also was fascinated by the contrast between the absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous world and how desperately Alta, the protagonist, just wanted to be anywhere but here. I also appreciated how the narrative presented you with themes and metaphors that were open to your interpretation, which I think will lead to all of us having such unique experiences with this game. I will have my preview coverage linked in the description for your reference, so be sure to check that out for a look at the gameplay and subscribe to the channel for more comforting variety content. Speaking of gameplay, let's talk about that next. Beyond the narrative, the focus of the gameplay itself revolves around tea shop management, which involves brewing tea for customers and maintaining the shop. To create tea brews, you will actually be tasked with collecting and drying tea leaves to be combined with different homegrown ingredients. The process of gardening is really neat because it encourages some experimentation. You'll be able to create small and large hybrids by planting and watering seeds in different patterns, which will offer you a variety of ingredients to use in your tea blends and will even impact the color of the drink. All of this and more can be tracked in your handy field guide that you can refer back to at any time. Once you've gathered and grown some ingredients, you will need to brew the tea, of course. But in Wanderstop, this will be done fun with the most extravagant tea machine that you will ever lay your eyes on. Brewing tea with this elaborate contraption involves climbing up a tall, revolving ladder from where you'll interact with its mechanisms. You'll pull, pump, kick, and toss ingredients into the machine before finally pouring your perfect brew. These blends can be served to travelers who pass through the shop, and you'll get to enjoy learning about their unique stories as well. But even in your downtime, there are relaxing activities to enjoy. This might involve tea shop maintenance, like using the whimsical dishwashing train to keep all the cups squeaky clean, grabbing a pair of clippers to remove overgrown weeds from around the property, or sweeping up piles of dirt, potentially revealing a buried trinket that you can add to your collection and decorate the shop with. You can also retrieve and return lost packages, pet and carry around the adorable yet mischievous Pluffins, and of course, take a moment or two to just bask in the beautiful scenery with a cup of tea in hand. And there are many places to do just this, each offering a unique panoramic scene and opportunity to enjoy the soundtrack. However, an interview with the game's director revealed that these gameplay tasks and activities will not have the predictable outcomes that players have grown accustomed to. If Alta were a player, she would be the classic min-maxer. However, speeding through a checklist of cozy tasks won't lead her to the healing that she, the customers, and maybe even the player might be looking for. Instead, the tea shop is designed to challenge Alta and therefore us as the player. So once again, expect the unexpected. Now, I also wanted to circle back and touch on the game's soundtrack, which I actually don't even typically dedicate an entire video chapter to, so I feel like that on its own speaks volumes. The musical score for Wanderstop was created by the composer behind the music of Minecraft, who has created a procedural system that allows the music to loosely follow the actions of players, dynamically adjusting as you explore the wonders of the shop and introduce yourself to travelers who wander across your path. And trust me, this is no mere gimmick. I actually learned about the system after I played the preview, but while I was playing the game, this was one of the most captivating and immersive features that I experienced. It truly felt as though I was dancing with the game, as the music would ebb and flow depending on my actions, and of course alongside the emotional story beats. What's more is that if you choose to take a moment of rest while playing the game, the soundtrack will chime in to support that experience and will probably pull at your heartstrings, especially if you're anything like me, because I'm the type of person to really connect with and respond emotionally to music. Every element that I experienced in the game feels so intentional and so cohesive with everything else. It's one of those games that truly feels like it was made with so much love and care, to the point that it literally radiates through the screen. So now that you know all about what to expect for Wanderstop without any spoilers, when can you actually play it? Wanderstop is a full release title that will be landing on PC via Steam, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5 on March 11th. This means that the game will also have full controller support, which is amazing. Now, no news has been shared yet on Steam Deck verification specifically, or whether physical editions will become available at any point, but I personally would love to add a physical PS5 copy to my collection, so if we get news on either of these topics, I'll be sure to update the video description. Also, if you'd like to try out the game for yourself ahead of its release, there is currently a short demo available on Steam to offer you a sample of the overall experience. Please note that your demo save will not carry over to the final game, but if you're on the fence for any reason, it's the perfect opportunity to try it out to help you decide. I, for one, cannot wait to dive into the full game when it releases and see where the journey takes us. But let me know if you'll be playing this title, and if so, what you're most looking forward to or most curious about. Anything and everything, you know I always love hearing from you. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.